Hello friends, welcome to this new video. So in this video, we are going to create this dashboard. Now this is very dynamic dashboard. I'll tell you what features it has. So we have used multiple card visuals here for showing our important numbers such as total transaction, total sales, total units sold, then average price, then sum of operating profit, total operating profit, and average of operating margin. We have shown with the help of card visual. Then we have given different filters, or we can say customization option. So based on selection, the data will change accordingly. For example, let's say we want data for Midwest and Southeast region. So we'll just select these two region, so automatically data will change. Okay, now let's say we want to add South region as well, so we'll select South as well. Now see, each and every visual will change. Okay, now let's say we want for men's apparel and for women's. Okay, let's say we want to add one more product category, which is men's athletic footwear. Okay, so we will select this one, so automatically data will change. Now let's say we want data only for 2021, so we'll select 2021 here, so automatically each and every data will change. And the next thing is we want data for only 2 quarters, so I'll select quarter 2 and quarter 3. So automatically, as per the selection, the data will change. Now how to create this kind of dashboard from beginning, from beginning we are going to see in this particular video. So if you have any doubt in this dashboard, so just comment below in the description box. So let's start. Okay, so the very first thing while creating a dashboard in Power BI is to load the data. I'll tell you how to load the data and what are the multiple sources from where we can load the data in Power BI. Okay, so let's begin. So guys, the very first thing while working on any Power BI project is to load the data. Now how to load the data? So there are 100 plus sources from where we can load the data. So if you click on this get data button, okay, one window will open. So inside that video, the list of sources will be there from where we can load the data. So let's see what will happen. It will take some time. Yeah, so this is the list basically from where we can load the data. So today we are going to use Excel workbook as our data source. So I'll select Excel workbook here and I'll click on connect. Okay, now my Excel workbook is in this download folder. So basically we have one store data. So I'll select that particular Excel file and then I'll open that. So I'll give this data set in the description box so that you can also practice along watching with this video in Power BI. So I have just connected that Excel workbook with our Power BI desktop. Now what you have to do, so basically there is one subsheet in this data. So I'll just select this subsheet and I'll click on load the data. Okay, so our Excel workbook will get connected with Power BI desktop. Now the next thing is I'll show what kind of data we have today. Okay, so it will take like 20 seconds to get loaded. See, after loading, the next thing is transformation of data. So transformation of data means if we want some changes, if we want to make some change in particular data set, then we can make changes in that particular data set in this step in transformation of data. After transformation of data, if multiple tables are there, then we have to build relationship between these tables. So basically for today's data set, we have only single table. So there is no point of building relationships. Okay. So I'll show you what kind of data we have today. So basically it is almost loaded now. Okay. So we have this table data. So I'll show the preview of this table. So for yeah, we have to go to on this data. So basically we have here 7 to 8 columns. So first column is for retailer, then retailer ID we have, then invoice date, then region, state, city. Okay, after that we have product, price per unit, total number of units sold we have, total sales, operating profit, operating margin, and sales method. Okay, then if we see model, so basically we have only one table here, right? So there is no need of building the relationship among the table. Now what I'll do, see all data I have. Okay, basically one data is remaining, which is total number of transaction. So what I'll do, I'll just right click on this data. I'll go to here, new measure. I'll click on new measure. So basically my new measure will be total transaction. Total transaction is equals to count. I'll select count here, and this will be retailer ID. Okay, so my measure is created now. So I can use this total transaction for showing the number with the help of cart visual. Now we are going to see how to build that particular dashboard which we have seen earlier, right? Now let's see how to build this kind of dashboard step by step. Okay, so I have selected a blank page. So the very first thing, this area where we are going to create dashboard is called as canvas. Okay, so we are using multiple visuals for showing our numbers. Okay, now the very first thing is to decide the background. So for that I have already downloaded one image. So for setting up the background, you have to go to this option called as format your report page. So here the third option, canvas background, you have to select. Now you have to give image location there. So this is my image. I'll just select the image and I'll click on open. Now I have selected the image, but it is not visible on the canvas because of transparency. So as the transparency level is 100%, so because of that it is not visible. So I'll reduce transparency level to 0. Now the image is visible, and I'll select the fit as, instead of normal, I'll select fit, so that the image will accumulate in entire area of our canvas. Okay, now the next thing is we want to show our numbers, right? So for that what I'll do, I'll select card visual. Okay, so now for showing the important numbers we are going to use card visual. So for using card visual, you have to click here on this card inside this visualization space. Okay, so the card is open. Now the first thing is, let's say we want to show total transaction. So what I'll do, I'll drag this total transaction measure which we have earlier created earlier. So I'll drag this total transaction to this field option. Okay, now see the number is visible and the name is total transaction. So what I'll do, category label is total transaction. So I'll just resize this. So size I'll select. So for resizing the card visual, either you can drag. Okay, and the next thing is you can go to general, go to properties, height select as 100 and width select as 200. Okay, so this will be our size. Now one more thing which we can do here is go to general, go to effect, just disable the background. Okay, then visual border, the color of the border we can select as white. Okay, roundness corner we will select 20, and shadow we will again enable and we'll select white color for shadow. Okay, now see, if you observe carefully for this card visual, the number is not visible clearly. So what I'll do, I'll change the font color. So basically this number 9648, this number in the card visual is called as call out value. Okay, so I'll make it bold. I'll select the color as this one, and I'll reduce the size little bit so that category label will also get space. Okay, so 36 I'll keep. The next thing, I have already made it bold, and decimal unit I'll select 2, and category label also I'll make it bold and I'll select this color only. Okay, now everything is visible, the number and category label both are visible. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll make copies of this card visual basically. Because there are three or more important numbers which we have to show in this particular data set. Okay, now the second number, instead of total transaction we want to show total sales. So I'll disable total transaction and I'll drag total sales to this field. Okay, now for third one, I'll show, instead of total transaction, I'll show profit. Operating profit, I'll drag to field. After operating profit, or the fourth one, I'll show operating margin. So instead of sum, what I'll give, I'll take average operating margin. Okay, then I'll again disable this one, and the next will be total units sold, and at last price per unit. So instead of sum, we want average price per unit. So I'll click on this arrow, one window will open. So in this video you can select average. Okay, so these are the six important number which we want to show in this particular data set. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just select this one. So to align this, I'll just select every card visual, each and every card visual. I'll go to format, I'll click on align, click on this arrow and click on distribute horizontally. So every card visual, the space between each and every card visual will be equal. Now the next thing is we want to create some different visuals so that we can show our different numbers in the form of graphs. Okay, so the first thing is we want to create some filters. Basically, filters will act like what if we select a particular category, no, so the data will automatically get sorted for that particular category. So we will create filter by the use of slicer visual. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll select this slicer visual. So slicer is nothing but it act as a temporary filter. I'll just resize it. Okay, so the first thing is we want to create slicer for region. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll select this region and I'll drag it to field. Now if you observe carefully, each and every region is in vertical list and in checkbox format. Okay, so if you select a particular region, I have selected Midwest. Okay, so data is sorted accordingly, all numbers are sorted accordingly. For example, if I select Northeast, so each and every number will get sorted accordingly. But we don't want in this format, we want in tiles form. Okay, so for that what we have to do, just go to this one, format your visual option, click on slicer setting. So in style option, instead of vertical list, select tile. Okay, see, now this is in the form of tile. Now what we will do, basically we will just format this visual. So again, select the visual, go to format your visual, go to general. The very first setting we know we have to disable the background. After background, enable the visual border. The color of the border will be same, white. Okay, then again shadow enable, and color of the shadow select it as white. Now the next thing is we have to format this visual, right? So this one region, it is called a slicer header. So the text color for this one we will use as this yellow so that it will be clearly visible. The next thing is these things, mid, west, south, east, these are called as values. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll select black color and font. Yeah, this is good, black, and I have already made it bold. And font I'll select as this one. Okay, then background I'll select as this. Yeah, it is clearly visible, right? So all regions are there, so you can select region and accordingly the number will get sorted. Okay, now the next thing is we want to create some more slicer. So I'll just copy this, I'll just paste this. Okay, so we have created this. Oh yeah, one more thing which is remaining in this slicer is rounded corner. So for giving that, again go to general, go to effect. So in visual border we have rounded corner and select near about 20 number here. Okay, so rounded corner we have given. Okay, now the next thing is I'll copy and paste this slicer. I'll drag this slicer a bit. Okay, so in this particular slicer what I'll do, instead of region I'll deselect the region. So instead of region we want to show product. Okay, so I'll drag this product to this field. So we have 4 product categories, 4 to 5 product categories. So accordingly, it will come. We have 6 product categories actually. Okay, now we want to create one more slicer. I'll just copy, I'll just paste this one. So this time I want to create slicer for year. Let's say year. Okay, so instead of product, I'll select year. Now see, 2 years are there. We have data for 2020 and 2021. Now the last slicer which I have to create, I'll just copy and paste it. So instead of year now, I want to sort the data based on quarter. So I'll just select the quarter. So basically there are 4 quarters. Let's say we want data for only quarter 2. So if we select quarter 2, the number will change accordingly. Okay. Now we want to show other things with the form of graphs and all. Okay. So first we will show total sales by month in the form of area chart. So what I'll do, I'll select this visual area chart. Okay, I'll increase the size of this one like this. Okay, so on this we want to show total sales. So I'll drag total sales on y-axis, and by month we want to show. So I'll drag month on x-axis. So this is our area chart basically. So we will just format this chart. So what I'll do, basically I'll go to format your visual. I'll go to general. Okay, so the very first thing, disable the background. The next thing, enable the visual border. Color will be white only. Roundness corner again near about 20. Shadow we will enable. The color of the shadow will be white. Then for further formatting we have to go to visual. So first we will format x-axis. So value will be bold. Color we will select as yellow so that it will be clearly visible. Then for title also value will be bold. Color we will select as yellow. This is for x-axis. Similarly we will do for y-axis. Value bold, yellow, title bold. We'll select yellow as color. Now one more thing which is remaining is grid line. So for grid line we will select solid and color yellow so that it will be visible. Now go to general, title of this one, make it bold, color select yellow and center align it. Okay, so this is our visual. Now basically this blue color is not working here. So what I'll do, I'll again go to format your visual. Okay, so in lines, in colors, so instead of this blue color I'll select this one. Yeah, now it is clearly visible. Right, now the next visual which we are going to use in this particular data set is a donut chart. Okay, so with the help of donut chart I'll show you what we can present. So we will show sales by region. Okay, so I'll drag total sales in values and I'll drag region and legend. So accordingly the numbers will get sorted. So basically same formatting we will do. We will just disable the background first. Go to effect, disable the background, visual border, enable it, same color, same roundness at corner, shadow enable, color will be white. Okay, now other things are not visible. So for that what we will do, we'll go to visual, legend will be at top center. Okay, text will make it bold and yellow in color, title, data label, and for values also we'll make it bold and yellow. Okay, now only one thing is remaining, which is title of the chart, which is not clearly visible. So title, go to general, make it bold, select yellow color, center align. This is also done. Now we want to format this slices. Okay, so go to visual. So while formatting this, what you can do, yeah, go to slices. So basically we have colors here. Now what I'll do, first I'll select this dark color, then little bit light, then more lighter, then next one, and at last one. Okay, so this looks good. Now the next thing which we have to do is we have to create more visuals for showing our data. So next data we will show in the form of bar chart. So what I'll do, basically I'll select this one, line in stacked column chart, so that we can show like two charts, like two things simultaneously. So what I'll do, basically in this line and stacked column chart, so what I'll do, I'll select on y-axis I'll show total sales. Okay, by line we can show operating profit. Okay, on x-axis we can keep retailer. Okay, this is the first graph. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll again filter, like do basic formatting for this. I'll go to general. So this time I'll not disable the background actually. Okay, I'll keep background on. I'll select this color as my background color, or I can select this one. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, I'll select this color and I'll select transparency as this one. Okay, and basically for everything I'll select black color. Go to x-axis, I'll make it bold. I'll select black color for values, then same for title, then again for y-axis for values, bold, black, legend, grid line also. Instead of dotted we'll select solid, we'll select black color. Now one more thing which is remaining is data label. We'll disable this one. Yeah, bold and black. Okay, now everything is visible, right? So yeah, one more thing, just title of the chart, go to general, title, bold, it is already black, and I'll select center align. Okay, now we can edit this color of the column. So just go to format your visual, select column here. So instead of blue color we can give different color, so I'll use this one. And for line we can use different color as well. So instead of this one, yellow will work. Lighter we will take. No. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, now the next thing which we are going to show here is we will show sales and profit by product. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just copy this chart, I'll just paste it. Okay, one more thing, the main thing which is remaining here is to give roundness. Okay, so I'll go to general, go to effect, visual border we have already enabled. So color of the border will be white only. Okay, and roundness corner will select as 20. Okay, now this is looking good. So the next thing which we are going to do is I want to show the same data by product. Okay, but in the form of different visual. So what I'll do, I'll just copy paste this visual, I'll resize it. So instead of this retailer, what I'll do, I'll drag product here on x-axis, and instead of this line and bar chart, what I'll do, I'll select ribbon chart. Okay, and yeah, this looks good. So basically I'll just do a little bit formatting here. So I'll go to ribbon. So in ribbon color, what we can do, we can select the first color as this one. Okay, and the second color as this one. Okay, it is not that clearly visible. Yeah, these two color. Okay, so it's look good. Now the next thing, we want to create we can create two more visuals here in this particular remaining space. So first we will show the total sales by different sales methods. So for that particular thing, we are going to use this, which chart we should use. Okay, we'll use this one, clustered bar chart. So what we can do, we can show total sales. So for x-axis, I'll drag total sales by a different sales method. So basically, I'll drag sales method to y-axis. If you want to show total profit in this one, operating profits, you can drag operating profit to this one. Okay, so basically, just copy the format and paste it. Okay, so we can change the color of the bar. We know how to change it. Go to format your visual, go to bars. So basically, instead of blue color, what we can do, we can select this color, and instead of this light color, we'll select this one. Okay, now the okay, here one more thing. Okay, go to format your visual, go to column. Instead of this very dark color, we'll select this one. Yeah, the next thing is we can create one more visual here. So what I'll do, we will show total sales and profit by city. Okay, so I'll just okay, I'll take new visual. So I'm selecting this visual here. I'll just resize it. Okay, so in this, what we can do, on x-axis, we'll show total sales, operating profit, and on y-axis, we can keep city. Or we will change a bit. Basically, I'll delete this one. I'll just copy this visual and I'll paste it. Sales and profit we have, but we want in the form of cities, right? So for that, what I'll do, I'll just resize this visual. So we can use, instead of sales method, what I'll do, I'll drag city here and I'll select map. Okay, for city we have, but this is not clearly visible. So what I'll do, I'll select map here as a type of visual. Okay, so basically this will show everything. Now what we will do, the last thing, we will create one tooltip. So basically, see, when we drag here, when we drag our cursor, so it is showing that the retailer is West Gear and the total sales is this one. But let's say we want to show this number with the form of different visual. So I'll tell you how to do this. So just add one new page, go to format your report page, page information, go to canvas settings. So instead of type, instead of 16:9, select tooltip. Okay, so what we will do here, we will create one visual in the form of table. Okay, so I'll select this matrix table here. I'll select entire space. Okay, so the very first thing is what I'll do, I'll drag product. Okay, okay, instead of product, what we will do, okay, instead of this one, I'll create donut chart. Okay, product we have, and I'll show total profit as a value. Okay, and I'll just format this particular visual. So what I'll do, I'll just go to general, effect, background is enabled. I'll color select the color as this one. Okay, and everything I'll select as black. So basically, yeah, I'll go to visual, legend, text will be black and bold. Similarly, after legend, data label values will be black, bold. The next thing, go to general, tile, black and bold we have. Okay, now the next thing which is remaining is slices. So first color, then little bit lighter, more lighter, then different. Yeah, this looks good, right? Now what I'll do, see, we have created this one for product, right? Total profit for product. So what I'll do, see, if I drag here, so it is showing in the form of this label. Okay, it is showing retailer name and total sales, but we want that particular visual should be shown for this particular region, sorry, retailer. So how to do this? So basically select your visual. Okay, so go to format your visual. So inside this particular, go to general formatting. So here tooltip is already enabled. Okay, so just select this tooltip under option, under type, just select report page. Okay, and page will be page 3. Okay, now see what will happen if I drag my cursor here. So it will show the graph, that profit one, operating profit by product, which we have created previously for that particular retailer, which is Foot Locker. Okay, if you drag on other retailer, the data will change. If you drag on third retailer, again the data will change. So like this it will work. Okay, see, for every retailer the data will get changed. Okay, now our dashboard is like completely prepared. Okay, so let's check whether our dashboard is working or not. So what I'll do, I'll first select this. So we have given like slices here, right, which will act as a filter. So if I select Midwest region, the data will change accordingly. If I select Southeast region, the data will change accordingly. If I select Southeast and West region, so accordingly the data will change. So means this slicer is working. Now the next thing is we will check whether the product slicer is working or not. So let's select 3 categories here. So I have selected 3 categories. So based on that, the information is getting changed. Okay. Now let's say we want information only for 2020 here. So I'll select 2020 here. So accordingly data will change. Now let's say we want only data for 2 quarters, quarter 2 and quarter 3. So everything is changing accordingly. Okay, everything is changing accordingly. So this is how you have to create dashboard by using Microsoft Power BI software. Okay, so this is very easy. Now after creating this kind of dashboard, what you can do, you can publish this dashboard by clicking here on publish. But for publishing this dashboard you need Microsoft service account that you can get free. Okay, so just you need one work mail ID. Okay, by using that particular work mail ID you can create Microsoft service account and you can use that particular account for 2 months for free of cost. Okay, I hope you have liked this video. I'll give the dataset in the description box. Please follow this video and make your own dashboard with different background and different color for practicing. Okay, so thank you for joining me in this video. Please like, share, and subscribe this video. Thank you.